Hey YouTube, Jim here. Welcome to Top 10 Archive. Expensive divorces have been headline news, punchlines, common gossip, and interest pieces for as long as anyone can remember. Back in the 1980s, even Eddie Murphy talked about Johnny Carson's expensive divorce on his comedy special, Raw. He talked about seeing Johnny in a magazine with a face of pain and his ex-wife's face on the next page with glee. Why? Well, by Eddie's estimates, Johnny's wife walked away with a sum of at least $150 million. What's even more crazy is if that were the case, Johnny Carson doesn't even scratch the top 10 most expensive divorces, which is exactly the topic at hand for today. But before we get started, why not become an archivist today by clicking that subscribe button and notification bell so you don't miss out on any future uploads. If you end up enjoying this video, let us know by giving it a thumbs up and let us know in the comment section what you think of these expensive divorces.
Number 10. The BET split. Sheila and Robert Johnson co-founded the BET network. The couple were married for 33 years and sold the company to Viacom in the late 90s. Sheila was the first African-American woman to reach a net worth of at least $1 billion. After the divorce, she was estimated to be worth $670 million, but after some ups and downs throughout the years, she was most recently estimated at $750 million. Robert's net worth was around $600 million, so of course, the divorce that went down wasn't about to be cheap. According to Wikipedia, the divorce is estimated at a jaw-dropping $400 million. If $150 million made Eddie Murphy write an epic, yes, epic stand-up, I can't imagine what he would have done with this information. Number 9. Mel and Robin Moore Gibson. Mel and Robin were a love story made for TV. Starring Mel Gibson, of course. How else are you going to get that Hollywood budget? They met in Australia in the 1970s after Mad Max, when Mel was just a guy trying to make it in the industry, in the Australian theater industry at that. They would go on to get married in the 1980s and had 7 children together. Sadly, after 26 years of marriage, they split. He even talked about it in an interview, saying he knew it had ended after his drunken driving arrest in California. But leaked photos showed a possible different reason: his cuddling up to Russian pianist Oksana Grigorieva on the beach. The story has a happy ending, for Robin anyways, who received a settlement of around $400 million. Number 8. Craig and Wendy McCaw. Craig McCaw, an entrepreneur in the cell phone industry, founded McCaw Cellular, which later turned into AT&T as well as Clearwire Corporation. He married a California newspaper publisher, Wendy, and divorced 21 years later. The story seems pretty open and shut. Not much is out there about the divorce like there is about A-listers, but we do know that the businessman's divorce settlement is one of the most expensive on record, exceeding $460 million. Number 7. Dimitri and Eleanor Rybolovlev. Marry a businessman is what our list seems to suggest, or rather, divorce one. Dimitri Rybolovlev comes in at number 7. Known for being a Russian businessman, he's owned potash producer Uralkali, been president of Monaco's football club, and invested in a variety of other businesses. According to his ex-wife Elena, he is also a serial cheater. Though the original settlement had been that of $4.8 billion, his lawyers didn't wait to appeal and had it reduced to about $800 million. Quite the difference. I'd be mad at my lawyers if I were Elena, but you can't be too mad with $800 million, can you? Number 6. Adnan and Surya Khashoggi. 20 years after tying the knot, Adnan Khashoggi and his wife cut ties. Adnan is best known for, again, being a businessman, but from Saudi Arabia. He allegedly made lavish business deals and lived an extravagant lifestyle. In the 1980s, he was worth as much as $4 billion, so of course his divorce is bound to have been a pain in the pocket. He and his wife married in the 1960s when she converted to Islam and took on a new name. They had 5 children during their marriage and one after their marriage that was assumed to be Adnan's but turned out to be the child of a conservative politician. As if that didn't sting already, the split also came to a settlement of $874 million. Number 5. Christmas Ham. Another 20-plus year marriage gone sour. In this case, Harold Ham and Sue Ann Arnold divorced after 24 years of marriage and with 2 daughters. Ham was in the oil and gas industry, and Sue-Ann was an economist and a lawyer. His $20 billion fortune was at risk after some back and forth and the previous reporting that it would come out untouched. Alas, it was doomed. Even after he suggested a settlement of over $974 million, she rejected it and came out with more than $995 million big ones. Number 4. Win some, lose some. The further we get into this list, the sweatier I get looking at these figures. Real estate and casino mogul Steve Wynn married Elaine Farrell Pascal in 1963. They divorced 23 years later and remarried in 1991 and then re-divorced in 2010. During their marriage, they had 2 daughters and built quite a financial empire. Elaine was a businesswoman, philanthropist, and was on the board of the couple's company for over a decade. When their marriage ended, the settlement came down to about $1 billion. Number 3. Slavication forever. After 23 years of being married to the chief executive of the Formula One Group and having 2 of his children, Slavica Ecclestone, a Croatian model, called it quits in 2009. There's not a lot of hype about the reasons or the divorce battle itself, but there are 4 parts under the controversies subheading of Bernie's Wikipedia page, including one titled Hitler Controversy. That could have something to do with it, but I'm just spitballing here. After the divorce, Slavica received a settlement of $1.2 billion. After that settlement, she could have gone on vacation forever and just been done with it, which she might have actually done because her online presence is pretty much null. Number 2. Rupert's Money Murdoch. Finally, a marriage that surpassed the 30-year rank, but still ended. So what good is it anyway? This time, it was good old Rupert Murdoch, heir to the executive throne of the Herald and Weekly Times publishing company in Australia. He married Scottish-born Anna Maria Torv, who was working at one of his newspapers in Sydney. They had 3 children together, built a family, and he published 2 of her novels, but in 1999, they divorced. Anna, once a simple journalist, received, just like Slavica Ecclestone, $1.2 billion. The dating scene sure had changed since 1967 when she was last single, but over $1 billion had the boys knocking in no time. Of course, there were knocks on Murdoch's door quickly as well. A 32-year-old knock to be exact, so Rupert and Anna remarried just months after their divorce. Number 1. A work of art. Alec Wildenstein came from a French-American family of art dealers. He married Jocelyn, a Swiss national, when they were in their 30s, and they divorced after some real sticky business. Jocelyn is known for her extravagant plastic surgery and has often been given harsh nicknames like Lion Woman and Cat Woman. They divorced in 1999 after Alec was caught in bed with a 19-year-old Russian model, after which he threatened her with a weapon. That doesn't look good on divorce papers. Not only did Alec spend the night in jail, but he also had to dish out about $3.8 billion in settlements. Jocelyn received $2.5 billion up front and $100 million each year for 13 years. I don't even have anything funny to say about this one. I just want to take a sip of coffee and forget this whole video ever happened. But hey, thanks for watching. You know, I've been married for almost 36 years now. My wife promised me she'd never divorce me, but never said she wouldn't kill me. Till death do us part. I'd say people in this list got off lucky if money was all they lost. Now before you go, be sure to subscribe, click the notification bell, give it a like, and share it with others on various social media platforms.